What's up, everyone? Mo at Backwoods Adventure Mods. Today we're talking bike mounts. This is our universal bike tray mount, and these mounts will allow you to mount a bike tray on the side of your bed rack. And this was designed to work on our bed rack, but it will work on competitors' bed racks as well. We've kind of got this angle where you can mount it up to a 90 degree all the way down to a 70 degree angle. So not for every rack, but for most racks out there, this should check the box. You can see we've got these holes on the back side. This right here is what's going to mount up to your bedside rack. You can see our holes line up with these holes that we have cut in the mount. We're going to include 4 3/8 carriage bolts, and these are going to push through here 2 at a time, 2 on this one, 2 on the front one. But once you get those carriage bolts in there, you're able to get on the back side, get your nylock nut started, and go ahead and fasten that down. And you can tighten this down pretty much all the way. Once you get that mounted, you'll come back through, kind of get your tray mount where it is, and use this angle piece right here. That's going to allow you to slide back and forth and kind of get the desired angle you're looking for. And that's how it'll work on our bedside rack, but we've got another rack over here. Another one of our buddies let us use his truck. His angle is a little different than ours. His is more upright, where ours kind of tapers in, but this way. You'll notice this one's kind of a little bit beat up. We've towed this one around the country for maybe 4,000 or 5,000 miles. We've had our bikes on it to Florida and back, and everything held up strong. We don't recommend going over 50 pounds on the side, and that's just a lot of weight kind of bouncing back and forth. These things have held up. You know, you can tell rattle can magic. You know, these were our prototypes, all aluminum, so you're not gonna have to worry about rust or anything like that. Obviously, coming from Backwoods, yours are gonna be delivered powder coat and for free. But these will mount up to the side of his rack as well. Like I said, this is competitor's rack, but you can see these holes, pretty spot on. So you'd be able to get some hardware through there. Same thing on his as on ours. You can kind of go up, choose your height, and then stack it here, put your plate on here, stick your mount across. But what this is gonna do is this is gonna eliminate you having to throw a pad over the back of your tailgate. Trying to get a bike under here is kind of a pain sometimes. We know that's a thing, and it really allows you to free up your bed space having this here, having your bike out of the way. You don't have a hitch carrier hanging off the back of your truck, taken away from your departure angle. Really clean look. People seem to love it. Go over the install and what's all included. Cha! All right, so you'll see this slit right here in the top. If you've dealt with any of these bike trays, obviously you'll need one. You won't be able to mount a bike just to this, but these are a couple of the ones we've ran. This one, probably one of my favorite racks out on the market right now. They've kind of thought of everything, but you see on the bottom of these, they have this little slot right here, and that's where your hardware slides in, and that is what it's gonna mount actually to this bike tray mount. So wherever your uprights land or anything like that, this is fully adjustable. Same with the Kuat one as well. You can see this will be able to slide back and forth. So whatever your spacing is on your bed rack, these racks are able to kind of meet that. And then the way we've got our mount design, you're able to slide in, slide out, whatever you need. But these are 2 of the ones we like using. No wrong answers. This is the one. We'll go ahead and get started. Just kind of want to go over some of that while we've got everything off the truck. Once we start the install, like I said, it's not going to be much. These are your 3/8 carriage bolts that'll be included. Your nylock nuts will go on the back. All right, we've got both carriage bolts started, got the nylock nuts started. I like to use extension on the socket, make it a little easier, but like I said, you just got to keep a little pressure on the outside of this carriage bolt and then go righty-tighty, right? So we've got the base mounted. We're gonna go back now, put our top on. Now on our bed rack, you'll see these holes right here, and you'll see kind of these 2 that are up and down. That's what you're gonna use on ours. Those 2 holes will line up perfect. That's gonna kind of give you your level surface with our rack. Like I said before, obviously if you're using something else, you'll have a ton of play here to get the angle you're actually chasing. For ours, you'll use the 2 round holes, and we include the 1/4" carriage bolts as well here. So these will go from, the bolt will go from the outside in, nuts on the inside. We'll go from there. All right, like all Backwoods products, we're using righty-tighty philosophy. No reverse threads here. Is that right? Dude, right, tight, right, tight. All right, one thing I will say is it's easier if you get these top bolts kind of started. Get in here with your wrench, and then you start spinning. And that is just so that you can get more play out of this. Unfortunately, a socket doesn't fit in here, but you can see if you can get one of these gear wrenches, and you don't put that bottom bolt in just quite yet, you'll be able to get a pretty good throw out of it and get some threads going. Like always, not gonna tighten these up all the way. Gonna get them kind of loose, and then we'll move up there, make sure we're gonna be level, and then we'll throw our bike tray on there. My carriage bolt button head's kind of on the back there, so I'm having to short throw this one. is what it is, but we'll get it on here, no sweat. But like I said, that's why you want to get those top ones started. I'm about to go on pancake break. All right, so we've got this side mounted, level with the other side. So we're gonna go get our bike tray. We didn't show you that side, we did it behind the scenes. But like I said, one of these trays, either one, both are gonna work fine. We'll show you with both of them kind of how these drop in. You can see Kuat kind of includes these little sliding nut things that slide in here. These will drop in, super easy to work with. You just kind of hook that in there, slide it, make sure you got enough on the actual mounts. You know, you can tell I'm just trying to split the difference here. I'm gonna want it to be pushed out a little bit due to my pedals, stuff like that, but we'll kind of get it where we want it, get our hardware. You can kind of see that little nipple that Kuat sent us is kind of sticking out the base here. You'll put a couple washers, one of the bolts they sent us, and then we'll tighten that down. And we'll go shred, baby. All right, so how this will work with the 1UP hardware is they send some long through hardware, so it'll slide in the backside on both sides, whichever. But what you're gonna get is this long bolt sticking down, and then they'll have some nuts that will actually be included with a bracket that will tighten it down. But you can see this one same way, kind of get it where you're looking to have it. Slide her to the desired spot and drop it in. And then, like I said, you can kind of play with it back and forth, get it to the outside, make sure everything's gonna open fine, everything like that. So, you know, you can see I wanna clear these Max Trax boards, clear that, that's good. That's kind of the basics right there. You can see this is gonna sit really nice and flat, gonna have good tension pulling down on it. We've literally ran across the country with this, like the way it sits. Only had one incident in California where my bike came off, and that was because some people suck. We put in the miles behind it, but we're gonna mount this Kuat one up there and then wrap this thing up. All right, so Kuat includes some of these little base plates that will go on the mount of their, or the bottom of their racks. They look like this. I do like to put these in between the mount and our rack, and this just seems to really shore it up, keep it from any side-to-side movements. This is all part of the R&D kind of thing that we did. I've ran it without, and my bike showed up, made it to the trailhead, made it there and back. Totally up to you. Like I said, if you're not hauling an e-bike up here, if you're just hauling a Reggie bike, you know, human powered, then I'm sure you can mount this directly to that rack and it's gonna stay fine up there. But just for me, peace of mind, I like to add these below it. All right, last thing you're gonna wanna do, same as on the rack before, you're gonna wanna make sure everything clears. So clear our pins on our traction board, be able to open and close fine. Once you're sure of that, just come back, kind of snug everything up, and then throw your bike on and give me a shout. Good news, Kuat also living in that righty-tighty world. So I kind of just barely tightened down that one end. I wanted to come over here and make sure we're sitting fairly square, fairly flush. We are. This one right here, I'm gonna put the beans to as much as this little Allen key will take. But once you get that, dude, you are set. And this is kind of a quick install and kind of covers what this will go on. But like I said at the very beginning, this is not just designed for our bed rack specifically. This will work on other bed racks. If you unsure if this will fit your rack or anything, man, please give us a shout. We're happy to help. We don't want you to order this and then be disappointed when it shows up because it doesn't fit. You got two guys here that want to answer the phone, one being me, the other being J.O. Any questions, seriously, please give us a shout. See ya.